So the next one is, are we designing, and we touched on this, a system for all learners? And as teachers, I think we know what we speak about when we say all learners. When I read through our script, I thought of the special ed space and special needs space, and that space entirely is something I haven't had the privilege or the privy of looking at it from an education perspective. I just have, friends and family who, have children with special aid. And I know it's such a topic we don't speak about, and I'd like to find out, I think also through the duration of this podcast, focus on special aid itself to say, are these children, or are, as a system of education, are we doing justice? And I'm focusing on them because we know how it is as an able-bodied person to go to school and be able to sit here and conversate, with a certain level of intellect, with a certain level of an EQ. It's easy for us. We don't have to think about it. What happens to those who it's not as easy, and are we supporting them?
Yeah, the ones that are learning different from others. I can argue that mainstream is also exclusive. There are kids that are they don't have special needs.
They just learn differently.
They learn differently, and because we assess in only one way, then we go back to tradition. So now we using all kinds of online things to consolidate information, whatever, and we expect all our learners to respond in an assessment in the same way. So everyone must write. Not everyone has the patience to write. Not everyone can express themselves.
Articulate themselves in written.
Exactly. So what are we actually doing? Because we're moving this way in the classroom, and then assessment, we're still sticking to the old forms. So that means in mainstream, even those kids who are able to write are being excluded. And the only ones that demonstrate learning are the ones that can do it the traditional way.
So your top 10.
Yeah. And already there, if a child never experiences a sense of achievement at that lower level, from the lower level, and they don't get an opportunity to express themselves differently while still achieving the same goal, because again it goes back to the goal. What do we want the child to be able to do? Then it's going to be a question of no, don't worry, you don't have to write. No. And then we have all these excuses that we're coming up with, that the child maybe needs to go to a smaller school and
adding, Jay.
But yet the system is not geared for everyone. So who are we catering for?
Oh, that's a deep one. It's such a deep one. As teachers, we always go back to time. We don't have the time to teach Jabu, Nicole, Amber in different ways, because Jabu needs to be stimulated in a visionary sense. Amber needs visual learning, auditory learning, this, that. We don't have the time. So what do we do? Yeah.
Remember I said the system needs to change. But I've thought of a way where, on a small scale, on a micro system, on a micro level, you can create micro systems. But then again, it goes back to those 4 C's, the 4 skills of the 21st century skills of collaboration, creativity, communication. And what's the last one? I always forget it. I have it somewhere. Okay. So now again, if we collaborate, we've got to be able to trust each other. And so creativity, if I find a way that I can assess a specific student, I should be able to communicate with my co-teachers about a way that I'm using and that we can share. But now, the sense of competition, where you're making it work for yourself only, because we are not all buying into having a common goal.
Yes.
So microsystems are things that can work, where you have all your grade 6 teachers, and we're talking about new ways to assess our kids. No.
Yeah.
But then we must still remember now the summative and the formative.
And the
So,
capstone.
and all these hoops that you have to jump through, and the hoops that we have to jump through takes us so far away from the child who needs to learn and needs to achieve. And as a parent, you want your kid to eat the sevens, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants to anything less than a 7.
Yes.
But we need to look at the sense of satisfaction that a child will experience when you are given an opportunity to respond in a way that works for you. The best way based on your abilities.
Yeah.
And not
On a
the one
standardized
way.
form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an ongoing conversation, so
Yeah.
I think it's one we definitely want to take further. So you've answered this again as well. What changes would you like to see in how the curriculum is developed and rolled out? I also had a thought process, and again, this is a conversation that we hope does reach a government level, because it starts there. It starts with, the rolling out starts with them, where every, I'd say 3 to 5 years, we need to look at revising the curriculum as a whole. You mentioned places like China. There's a video on the internet where I think they at creche, they children are at creche, and they're cooking, and have you seen that video? And you're like, wow. Yes, I'm sure their system has its own flaws, but they are tackling every nuance of childhood development, and it's being attacked. It's not just maths, it's not just English, it's not just, it's every single corner, from cooking, from cleaning, from, all these skills that we need addressed. And I think a 5-year rollout for me makes sense, because, or 12-year, let's look at the 12-year rollout, because then maybe you'd be able to assess, okay, this generation has now gone into the workplace. What are we looking at? And as a whole, we need to be able to sit, with teachers from the foundation phase all the way up into matric, not excluding higher education either, just to say, this is working, this is not working, scrap it, let's go again. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, these children need to go out to war with the correct tools. They need to be able to live life with the correct tools. And right now, they, like we discussed, they're just gonna get to matric. After matric, you sit and you're like, oh, okay, what just happened?
Yeah. What am I supposed to be doing from here?
Where to from here?
For me, again, it comes back to, if this is what we see ourselves as a country in the next 5 years, and there's a 2030 plan.
Yeah.
But what is it?
What is it?
What am I supposed to do, or what am I supposed to be finding at the end of the 2030 rainbow? So if you don't know as a teacher, you don't know where to lead the kids to. And if the curriculum is also so broad, and we know CAPS is so broad, you can do anything and everything but master, because you simply don't have the time.
Yes.
So people have to sit down and say, okay, as a nation, this is what we would like to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How long is it going to take us? What do we need to do? And it again goes back to something we don't like as teachers, training. Are we training our teachers
Enough.
well enough to be able to achieve this goal?
Yes.
And once we've done that, our population, our citizens, do they know what the goal is? Because if I know what's going on, I can put my weight behind it.
Yes.
But if I don't know, I'm just going to go through the motions.
Day by day.
Yeah, and have expectations that are not realistic because I don't know where we're going. So
that's very, very true. Even sectors like agriculture, mining, sewing, cooking, the hand skills, the welding, all of that. I believe there was a time in the education system where it was like that.
Yeah.
What happened to that? You know, there's a scary stat, and I'll look for it, that says the unemployment rate that we have is majority male. And when I looked at that, I was like, okay, why? But we have our boys that we are raising now have lost that touch of hand skills. Because engineering is only bought with EGD drawing. Okay, a little bit of it in technology as you grow. EGD drawing, and then you have to again reach those maths English levels for you to get into a proper school and then, you know, become this renowned engineer in whatever field that you choose. But the welders, the plumbers, and all of those things, our boy children, we focus a lot on the girl children, but our boy children as well are losing that ability. Because I know with my dad, if daddy, the light's not working, he'll come in and fix it, you know. The boy children that we have now, no offense to our boy children now, but they've lost that touch.
I don't think they've lost their touch.
But we're not supporting it as an education system, I feel.
Can I tell you from the perspective of someone who was in school?
Yeah.
During apartheid, I can't believe I'm saying it, but and we were taught those things. And then came the whole democracy and whatever.
The shift.
And so nobody wanted to be a housewife anymore. So no one's going to do what is it? Consumer studies.
Consumer studies.
Because we all want to be accountants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to be
So that shift that happened there meant that my child is not going to come home and wash floors and clean up.
Yeah.
And those are basic skills for you to be able to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Now we don't do that anymore because what will people think?
Yes.
So it's better if my kid goes to extra lessons in what if not. And they're constantly busy because we all want to produce academics.
Or sports even.
Yeah. And so our focus is on producing all these graduates. And what do we have now for graduates? Nothing, because there's no one who can do the basic things that we need.
And the people are graduating. It was graduation season now. People are graduating.
So everybody is educated, but
the real core things.
Somewhere along the way we miseducated our kids. We prepared them for a world that doesn't exist. Because even academia is it's full. It's packed. We can't all be professors and what have not.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to do their thing. So
and reshuffling and
so if my thesis is about whatever, I need to be able to take that thesis, bring it back to the people and let it be something that's useful for the world. But no. And really, I have friends that have doctorates in whatever not, and I know what it's in. But where are we going?
And where have you implemented with all of this research?
Yeah, and how is it helping society? Because that is the purpose. So maybe we need to just step back.
But we need to step
back. And then re-strategize because we still need hands. Yes, we're all saying, oh, mechanization and the 4IR and all of that. But behind all of that, there's still people. Who are those people?
The world is talking about food production and how that sector is. Where are we going back to say, okay, the generation that's going to live in this world, we need to teach them to take care of the earth. We need to teach them this, that, and the other. And what of that practicality?
And yes, We can use a machine to go and harvest the peaches.
But for how
Fine.
long?
But if that machine breaks down,
Then what?
who's fixing it?
And in a world where nobody remembers how to plant anymore.
So
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna dive into another big one. So it's a big one because I don't want anyone to take offense. But yeah, parental pressure and expectations. Okay, so